Thank you so much for tuning in to the Midnight Tonight Show. Today we have Tiff Hall and Deathatron on. It's going to be an awesome show. This is episode 5, guys. So if you made it this far, thanks again so much. We love you, Edmonton. Hey, welcome to the Midnight Tonight Show. We're here with Thomas and JJ from Deathatron. How's it going, guys?
Doing awesome.
Good. Thanks for coming on. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I heard your guys' music over Facebook, the new stuff that you guys are releasing, and it's crazy. I've known Thomas for a long time, and I have to tell you, man, this is some of the best music I've ever heard you put out.
Thanks, man.
It is just off the charts good. And I told you that. I'm not just telling you all this. I sent you a message being like, this stuff is great.
Thank you. Yeah, I've done a lot of production stuff in the last few years, and got a lot more experience and know-how and a little bit better ear, I guess.
Well, man, it's showing. It's showing really great. I can't believe it. So you got to tell me about this, because I've known you as Thomas Marsh, and I've known you as the Big Brown Dirt and all these other things. So you got to tell me, how did Deathatron start? What started this whole? It's a new direction, but still kind of similar.
Do you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think because of, the Fantastic Brown Dirt was kind of going on at that time when Deathatron started, but just like a lot of other things, COVID happened, and you weren't able to have anybody come over and things like that. So we were just there together, and we were able to start just playing around with music, and so I mean, in its infancy, it was a lot of experimental stuff, I guess. But I think that's when it really started, and ever since then, it's just been kind of evolving to, I think what we have now is what we're trying to really represent with our music in this new stuff. So yeah, it started back in the day during COVID.
Yeah.
Just in the basement in Abbotsfield, so it was, yeah.
Abbotsfield, wow.
Abbotsfield basement.
That's where everything starts.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff starts in the Abbotsfield basement.
Yeah, just outside of Beverly, right in Abbotsfield.
Heck
No,
yeah.
It wasn't Abbotsfield, but Abbotsfield is awesome, though, but it wasn't Abbotsfield.
It'll always be Abbotsfield, that whole area to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, though, I was going to add to what you're saying there, but with COVID, for a long time, you couldn't have even band rehearsals and things like that. It was crazy. So we were kind of what do we do? So I just was kind of writing that whole time, and then we would just we had lots of time to make songs really good, and got into MIDI and stuff too. That was a big game changer for sure.
Yeah, you can definitely hear that. And I mean, that stir craziness, it definitely got you guys going, making some really, really good stuff.
I think also getting sober too, that was a big help. And kind of funneling that into something a little more palatable. That's
a huge thing now. We're all getting older, and everybody's lost somebody, and it's just people don't want to do it anymore. And you don't even remember half the stuff you did on stage. It's way better to be a musician who's, kind of riding that edge, to be okay, I'm going to cool it. I'm going to get sober. I'm going to do this. And just, you remember it. You can put a lot more effort and feeling into things, because it's not just numbing it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big part of what I'm trying to do now, is be in the now a lot more. And that's a big shift mentally for me. Actually, we're playing, March
15th, we have a show coming up. Actually, it's our first show together as Deathatron. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's for that Two Doors Down Productions, and it's actually, we're really happy to be playing for it's an event where they're actually raising money to help underprivileged youth. Like, we're making fun of Abbotsfield, but there's a lot of areas in the city where there are kids who will never get a chance to experience their own talents with music, So for us to have this equipment in a basement, like him having a background and knowing how to do some of this stuff, that's great. But this event, this show has kind of opened up my eyes to this world where people want to create music, and kids that, like we mentioned before, they could be on the streets doing drugs. This might be an opportunity for some of them to really showcase their talent, but also to realize, maybe staying away from some of these things, like we were talking about getting sober, like drugs and alcohol. We're kind of like live and let live. There's no judgment, but there's been a huge difference in our lives since then. So, being able to perform our first show at an event that's sponsoring something so valuable, I feel really happy. Yeah, absolutely. I feel great doing that. So.
And that's with what is it, RC Syndicate, and then what is the group called? Like Sunrise something? I forget what Mikey calls his group. I know
I have it on
Sin River.
Sin River.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though too, it's only, I think this show will be like maybe the third show that I've ever played sober. So it's like
hey man,
I have
never
like,
too late, dude.
massive anxiety. Actually, it's crazy. I played like so many, and I think it's like the first one, so it's kind of
Yeah.
It's because you were so wasted before. You just don't care. You're just
it
I'm
does
on
get hard.
stage. I got to do this.
You're looking at the lead singer of Whiskey Wagon. So like the years that I took off and got sober, those first gigs were super hard, but they became super valuable because I started looking back and being like, there's a whole decade of my career I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But then these shows, I'm like, wow, I can look out in the crowd and be like, there's my friends, there's all my fans and my people who came to support us, and it means a lot more.
Yeah,
So you can talk to them at the end of the night. You're not stumbling home or doing any of that stuff.
Yeah, man. And I think people are proud to like come out and see you and not just like know that you're just like a, wasted mess up there. Like, anyways, that's how I feel.
I was not making fun of Abbotsfield either. There was no fun
Abbotsfield
there.
rocks.
I used to
Nobody's
live.
making fun of
I
Abbotsfield.
lived in
I
Abbotsfield.
grew up in Abbotsfield, man.
Yeah, man.
I used
so.
to go to the Crest there all the time. They'd have like bands like 7 days a week. It was awesome.
Nice.
Actually, it was a cool place.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up pretty much at that Zellers and that McDonald's that was there. That
Amen,
Abbotsfield
yeah.
Mall.
My
My
sister-
Baba would take me there all the time.
My sister worked at that McDonald's. She was a manager there.
That's
As a
yeah.
side note.
She probably served me some McDonald's pizza back in the day. The classic 90s McDonald's pizza.
I
Please
think that
bring
was
it
before
back.
her time.
I don't think they can. It's
Yeah.
just too much overhead for them. Yeah, they
Getting
need to serve you that
yeah.
like bone marrow nuggets.
It's
So what's-
healthy for you.
What's the plans with Deathatron? What are you guys doing? You guys releasing an album here? Like, you guys seem like you're amping up for something, and it's not just like one show. You guys are making music videos. You guys are making merch. You guys are putting out like a new pieces of songs all the time. Like, so what's going on?
Well, yeah, we're getting out there live now, and I think we will do an album. It's weird nowadays. Like, do people buy albums anymore? Do people like? I don't know. I'm not sure. It feels like we're getting more traction with reels.
You know, you will. The craziest thing right now, though, and it's like
Or
the craziest
TikToks.
revival is teenage kids are buying CDs again,
Cool.
like in droves. You go to like Value Village or any thrift stores, and teenage kids are just like buying up CDs like
Yeah.
crazy.
That's good.
Yeah, I've seen this myself
That's
actually.
For someone who has thousands of Whiskey Wagon CDs sitting in my garage, this is great news.
yeah, I hear that. I think I have
We'll
like
be rich yet,
Betty
guys.
Machete CDs still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely you want to work towards, like, we want to share what we feel. I mean, I think our music is definitely not what you experience every day out there. But it's also like really fun and really poppy, and I want to see people coming out there. Like, even though some of it can be a little bit dark, it can be a little bit disco. Like, there's such
Yeah.
a variety, but ultimately what we want to do is we want to be able to go out there and perform for people, and get them having a good time, and hopefully kind of seeing what we see in Deathatron, you know?
Nice.
So that's...
Can people access your music now? Are you guys on Spotify, Bandcamp, Apple?
There's some stuff on Spotify. We got to put the new stuff on there. Someone's supposed to be doing that, but they're falling a little short lately. So won't point
I don't know
fingers.
who was supposed to be doing that.
I was going to say, wow, did you see the size of that bus?
That's rude. Yeah, we do have some stuff on Spotify. We have lots of our stuff is on YouTube, of course.
Yeah, because you guys are making some really awesome looking videos. What are you guys using, a green screen in that?
Yeah,
only the
there's
highest
some green
technology
screen.
available.
I mean, go-go dancing on a green screen, it works every time.
It does
I've
work.
never seen it not work.
Yeah, I recently started working with another editor, which is awesome.
Cool.
Like got a university student that's been doing a little bit of work for us, which is so nice.
You've got an intern.
Yeah,
That's
we do.
awesome.
I don't know if you've ever done any video editing, especially is the worst, especially if it's your own song,
Yeah, I don't do that.
because
I got somebody for that.
yeah, that's good, because you never want to hear that song again by the time you're done.
It's nice to
like-
have someone to help with that, for sure. Yeah.
But back to your thing about the what our plans were. I was going to say that that's exciting if people are buying CDs, because you see nowadays people are on their phone and you watch a video that's 2 seconds long and then they're on to the next thing, and it's like, for me, that was never my experience with music. It was like, play the album, play the tape, whatever it is, and you listen to the whole thing. It's not like like the first song and then or whatever, or
The first
or
30
the riff
seconds of a
or
song.
whatever, or some it's like it's hard to relate to nowadays.
Well, yeah. I mean, for me, it was CDs, so I always had the skip option, right? But now, like, I see what you're talking about, where it's like the 2 seconds of like interaction. But it's interesting how people interact with that, because if I hear a good song and on some YouTube reel, even if it has nothing to do with it, I usually look up that song.
Yeah.
And I'll go find that song. And a lot of my my playlists are just filled with like little background songs someone's throwing in the back of their like reels, and I'm like, this is a really kick-ass song.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to go look up and try to find something. I don't know if the average person's doing that, but I assume there's quite a few of them doing it. I mean, if you like good music and you hear something good, I think it would pique your curiosity. Go check it out.
Yeah, they actually make playlists of just songs that are from either TikTok videos or YouTube shorts.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So yeah, you can actually access. There's someone that will go on Spotify and make you a whole list of those. So it's actually pretty cool that that people are doing that.
It's
But
crazy.
it's hard to know what media is easiest to access for people.
All of it.
So
Do it on everything.
Everything.
Just blast all media.
It's crazy too, like with Spotify nowadays, like, because I don't have it personally, but like how they kind of, you tell them what you like, and then they take that and they like kind of can figure out the kind of stuff to feed into you.
like an algorithm.
And it's like, it's so weird for me, because like some of my favorite bands, like you'd never want to hear, you wouldn't get it after listening to it one time. They take some time to listen to, like Sonic Youth, for example. That's
Yeah.
not a band that you can just easily listen to and it's like, wow, this is great. It's like, this sounds terrible.
Yeah,
But then
definitely.
then it's eventually you start to understand like the different layers and things that are going
Yeah,
on.
Thurston Moore is like beyond me. I can't get into anything he's doing.
Yeah.
He did like a cover of a Carpenter song one time. I was like, wow, this is really good. But that's like your entry level kind of the
Yeah.
Sonic Youth stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, where do you go? If you don't have some guy like feeding you the CDs, being like, listen to this track, listen to this song, and slowly walking you down that road, you're just like, this is a noise band and I can't fucking get into it.
Yeah. Well, actually, Kim Gordon's new stuff is really good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Really cool. Like really awesome
Doesn't she
videos
do a lot
and
with
like
her daughter?
her daughter, I think, was just like performing in them, like
Oh,
doing
okay.
like interpretive dance kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
pretty cool stuff
But
actually.
very cool. Like the stuff that she's doing. Like I haven't listened to like Thurston Moore stuff. I got a bit of hate on for him
There
after
you go.
like what happened, how they split and stuff.
Yeah. But obviously Sonic Youth was a big influence to you and your music and going the experimental routes that you've taken.
Yeah, in some ways. Yeah, for sure. Probably more, I would say, like another example of that same thing, like Devo is a huge,
Okay.
like one of my favorite, probably my
Much
favorite.
more listenable.
Well, yeah, but
to a degree.
you know, it's if you're associating them with like Whip It, but like you listen to like their albums and stuff, it's like, what is this? Like at first, that was another one. Like I heard it the first time and I was like, what? This is shit. Or like, and then eventually like one song kind of caught my ear. It was a song called Freedom of Choice. And then it was like, oh, okay, this song's good. And then it's like, this is amazing. And then it's like everything else makes sense.
What about Suicide? You ever listen to them?
Suicide, yeah.
They're pretty
that's,
good.
That's pretty cool
Like
stuff.
for a guy who just with an organ and like
Yeah.
their stage presence, the guy used to just like take chains and start whipping like nothing.
Very
It was crazy.
cool, very artsy.
Very
and,
artsy,
and,
yeah.
and the cool thing about those guys, they had songs too that you could actually sing, and they were like,
Interesting thing.
Very
Bruce
cutting
Springsteen was a huge Suicide fan.
Oh, yeah.
He even did a cover
oh, cool.
Interesting, yeah.
of Dream Baby Dream.
Oh, okay.
But so tell us a little bit about Deathatron. So it's just you two? Because I've seen the videos and stuff, and it looks like I had thought there was more people in the band, but it's just you guys making the music? You got some
Well,
studio musicians?
I feel like for the most part it's the two of
Session
us. Yeah.
musicians.
But we do have a few additions like here and there that will join us
Live?
live
Yeah.
or for videos. So
Cool.
yeah, and
Got some honorary members.
yeah, absolutely. And it's it's no one permanent, but there are recurring members,
Cool.
which yeah, and yeah, sometimes they're just like these mystery people that just appear out of nowhere.
Nice.
It's like,
We do have some musicians that are helping us play live though and perform.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And
Yeah.
we the cool thing about it being for the most part just the two of us is that like we show up for rehearsal and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get
You know
your
what I
parts
mean?
we
down.
rehearse our stuff
and we practice like
Yeah.
we take that like really seriously and we
That's awesome.
show
Yeah.
up in like a clear head and
that really helps because we're really on the same page with that, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for, because sometimes that can be really frustrating, and no offense, like life is busy, and sometimes like being with your band or going to rehearsal, it's not your priority, but for us I feel like it's a priority because we make it one, because
No one's gonna love your baby more than you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's good that if you're there and you both have the same love for it, you're gonna show up for it. You're gonna put the time in. You're gonna put the dedication in.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
How does that work for the process of writing music and creating stuff? Like, what is give us an insight to your processes? So is one of you writing the lyrics, the other one's writing the music, or is it kind of just a contribution of both?
Well, in the studio, I can say that definitely you're looking at the most of the musical talent in the
There you go.
group here, right there.
Yeah.
He's the technical guy. He's the guy who knows how to use all of the equipment, all of the instruments. It just makes it so easy. It's so easy because I go in there and we do write together. We will sit down, we'll play different songs that, we're working on. We really collaborate on a lot of things that way, but however, he'll be the one that, he'll sit down and he'll start a new jam, and then we'll kind of sit down together and work out some lyrics for it. So yeah, like I said, this is basically the backbone here, and I'm just I'm there, and it's fun to sing this stuff that we write together, and it's
a lot of the process is like, how do I say this? Like just having another set of ears that's really objective, I guess. And she'll say like, oh,
sounding
this
board
is
for you.
this is too drony. It's like this melody sucks, or it's like this lyric
yeah, sometimes
sucks.
I'm a little bit too brutally honest. But you know what though? Because like I said, he is a very talented musician, and I feel very like privileged to be able to, what I bring to the table is
Sit there and just shit all over him.
yeah, it's very
Well,
it's fun, but at the same time,
It needs to be shit on. It's
There
like,
you go,
it's
man.
like
you do.
gotta,
Everybody needs to get shit on every once in a
you
while.
got to
Yeah.
get that other dimension to things, and like that's like really important. 'Cause
And it's
someone can come
fun.
in with those fresh ears, and then they hear something, then you're like, if you can actually like accept someone's constructive criticism, things can really evolve that way if you're open to it.
That's a huge thing, you know,
Yeah.
and it is like that'll make you a better musician. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. They just want to do what they want to do. They don't want to listen. And you
Yeah.
stay in that little echo chamber or
Yeah.
that echo tunnel, and you're not going to hear anything that's going to like make you better.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take that criticism and go, okay, how do I take this without compromising what I want to make? You know what I mean? And there's people who go like, you know what? Like I'm sure bands like Sonic Youth and all those people and even Devo got told, what the hell is this crap? And they said, no, this is what we're making. We're making
Yeah.
it for a reason.
This is
We
the-
might not be making it for you. But they got their followings, they got their things. They weren't after the same kind of things that let's say Shania Twain was after. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah, the Devo. I could talk about Devo forever. Like, but like they're on their first album. Brian Eno came in. He was I can't remember.
great musician too.
I think he produced it. I can't remember what his involvement was exactly, but he actually recorded a whole bunch of extra stuff on top of that first album, like little parts that he had,
Yeah.
and then Devo mixed it. And they're like, oh, forget that shit. They just
That's
turned
hilarious.
it all off. But I'd be curious to kind of to hear that. But I mean,
So-
they had their vision.
They did.
They had it was based on like an art movement and like the, you know,
and when you're doing that, you have so much freedom. And I think you guys have a lot of this too. Like you're doing a very artsy, very like interesting thing. You're not going for this like average, just like rock star look kind of thing. You want to be Deathatron. So what are you guys thinking about? Like, how do you want to present yourself on stage? What do you guys go up there? What do you want people to see when they get up there?
that's a good
I
question.
mean, that's
It
a
is
tough
a good
question.
Well,
question.
so we've been working on our rehearsals, adding as much like choreography as we can.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
Just trying to do something spectacular. We don't have much of a budget for things.
No
but
fireworks,
we're, not yet, but who knows? Like
Unfortunately.
in the
Yeah.
future, right? I love Kiss personally. They're like one of my favorite bands. She does not. She's not.
No, I love Kiss, but I hate Gene Simmons.
Well,
I mean, I think everybody
I hate
feels
Gene. I hate Gene.
Kiss is good, but yeah.
We'd love to have him on the show if you're
Yeah.
listening, Gene.
I don't,
Come defend
I don't,
yourself.
Shouldn't say hate him, but
Yeah.
he's just like not someone that I would, hang out with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just he's great. He's great though at what his craft was, and I can't take that away from the man.
Mm-hmm.
He is great at marketing what he believes in, and that's a whole other level of selling what you got.
Totally is.
And they did their first few albums are amazing. Like
Kiss?
like amazing.
I mean, they're the starts of like, so much metal. Like you can't.
100%.
Like they got so many kids into metal in such a poppy way. They're the gateway, the little stepping stone to AC/DC, then to like Metallica, then all the other crazy shit.
Mainstream, it was really.
Like I think if you can make an album that people can like listen to the whole way through, and it's just like the whole thing's a banger, like that's like something to be really proud of.
Totally.
And like any artist that has been able to accomplish that is like really added to the world.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I got one more question for you. All my life, I've been blanking in a ditch.
Drinking in a ditch, yeah, that's a classic.
That's a classic Thomas Marsh.
Classic.
It's about 8 minutes of him just repeating that with the catchiest melody ever. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Deathatron. Check them out.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to the Midnight Tonight Show. I'm here with Tiff Hall. How you doing, Tiff?
I'm good.
Wow, I'm glad you made it here.
Me too. I'm sorry I was late.
Oh, you weren't late. You're never late. I mean, it's just, they don't know that.
A wizard arrives at precisely when he means to.
That's Gandalf says that. I know.
Now everybody knows I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I watched Gandalf of the Rings.
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I read the books. They're fucking amazing. But yeah, and the movies. So what's new for Tiff? What's going on?
Oh, I got some things that I'm working on. I feel like I'm in between, I'm at that fun stage where I got to like write and figure out everything.
Because you are an independent artist who's done several albums, but you're like everywhere.
Yeah.
You're hosting karaoke. You are like very famously doing dueling piano sessions. You are a burlesque host.
Yeah.
And you just recently became the organ player for the fucking Oilers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you're the one up there being like,
Yeah, I get to do a lot of that. Yeah.
that you must be making millions of dollars.
So much money.
You get like a player's cut, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You are like a player. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think they have to fire Connor McDavid next year.
Yeah.
They can't afford us both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The organ player is taking up too much of his salary.
Yeah.
But that's fucking sweet, dude.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's me and another guy. Shout out to my pal Vinny.
There you go. Vinny,
Yeah,
if you're watching.
Yeah, and yeah, I think we just split the games like 50-50 this year. So
It would be hard to be the organ player at every game.
I
That's
think
a huge
so,
win,
yeah.
especially because there's a game tonight.
Yeah.
So you made it. I was like, oh shit. Someone posted something. I'm like, how the hell is she in two places at once?
that's how good I am.
Yeah, she's Superwoman.
Yeah.
They're not just playing some tape.
No, it's Vinny.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. So where is it when you're in there? Like you're way up high?
Yeah.
Because I saw you post and it's like the rink looks so small. Like
Yeah.
you're way up there. Like do you have to take ladders or like an elevator? How do they get you up there?
Definitely an elevator. We get
Okay.
special clearance. It's
Nice.
up in like the sound booth and the lights are up there.
Wow.
I can see like, the rafters and the lights and when they throw the pizza with the parachute or whatever, like
Okay.
I'm up there.
Oh, they have like a thing where like Pizza 73, they drop like a little pizza.
Yeah, and they could like come down like parachutes and they all,
That's how I want all my pizzas delivered by
I know.
parachute from the top of like a rafters area. Yeah. That's fucking cool.
it's very fun. I got to play the women's takeover game when they were here just a couple weeks ago.
Dope.
Yeah.
So it's not just all Oilers games, it's any kind of event that goes down there.
That was the first one that I did that wasn't an Oilers game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah, I mean that whole area is really fucking dope. I just kind of went around there recently for a concert and going to all the bars and stuff there. Like it was just fucking awesome, man. The Ice
Yeah.
District's pretty nice.
Yeah.
For like everything they did to this city.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Cool, man. So what are you doing now, like as an independent artist?
So that's where I feel like I'm in between things. I feel like I'm transitioning from something that I used to do into like whatever my next project is. And I got to figure out like all the logistic things of it, right?
Yeah,
So
because you're used to like the Tiff Hall band, having a whole band and just doing your kind of writing your own music and doing this stuff. And then did Tiff Hall band ever do covers? Did you ever get into the cover band scene?
yeah, we did
Yeah.
that and we traveled around, did that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to approach it a little bit differently and do like a variety show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So something more engaging with burlesque and all this other kind of stuff to it too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's very interesting because I mean, you're going to get more people coming out for different reasons, right?
Yeah, I think I'm finding an audience over there in the burlesque world, and I keep being like musical guest on their shows, kind of thing. And all of a sudden, everyone like knows me and my accordion and my wolf instead of this other stuff that I've been doing for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, it's good. You've hit a niche. Let's talk a little bit about your accordion.
Okay.
Your accordion's name is Goldtooth.
True. Yeah.
And you're an accordion player, like aficionado. You're regularly like on the piano quite a bit, but so
Yeah.
you've moved to the accordion you've been playing for almost like over 10 years now.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. It just happened.
So when you do the accordion stuff, it's just you and the accordion, or do you bring that and incorporate it to a whole band?
We do have a whole band. Yeah, we've got a 4-piece, and we just call it Goldtooth, and we
Okay.
do covers of like top 40 club bangers.
And then you do like polka covers, or like you polka it up? Well,
No.
no, you do it just with the accordion. Just make it sound as nice as you can.
When I play solo, I'll do polka stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but when we do in the band, it's just it ends up kind of sounding pretty folky.
Yeah.
because we've got like an upright bass, and acoustic guitar.
Oh, really cool.
yeah, and then
That puts a good spin on stuff.
yeah, it's all these folk instruments, and then we play like Kesha and Taylor Swift.
Love Kesha.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
she's the queen. So Is Gold Tooth, do you have recordings online or anything that people can check out, or?
I guess not like any professional recordings or anything, but there's like some videos on
YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
So I know the Fabulous Tiff Hall has some recordings.
Yes.
Because one of your songs is definitely on my playlist.
Yeah?
Little Drunk Housewife. I hear it all the time, and I'm like, this is like such early Tiff Hall that like, if you even heard me listening to it, you'd be like, why? Of all the things, like, are you listening to this like first album I put out? But yeah.
You know what though? That's a good song. Every time I listen to that, I'm like,
I love that song.
I
It's
think
really
I did
good.
a good job capturing how I felt at the time.
Yeah, just little drunk housewife getting high, watching TV, getting drunk, waiting for
Yeah.
someone to come home. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Figuring out, I think that adult life, you know?
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, you do have lots of stuff that kind of fills your time. One of the things is painting. You're painting quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've noticed that you paint like very specific things. There's like a couple things I've noticed that you paint. One is the same brontosaurus. You just have been painting this brontosaurus for like the last 5 years in different ways and all these different colors and the different styles, and hot dogs. What's with the brontosaurus and what's with the hot dogs?
The hot dog thing, you know, it's just marketing.
Oh yeah.
And it just turned
worked.
into
It
this
got me
crazy.
intrigued.
Yeah, everybody loves the hot dog thing now, and they send me reels and all the kinds of things. But it was just a joke and something that I kind of thought, you know, I could call people a hot dog on stage and not get fired. So
Nice.
that's kind of where that came from. But then the dinosaur, I knew that I was kind of trying to start this, you know, artistic business, and I needed to practice painting something. And I liked all the curves of trying to make it look like, you know, it's got a little round belly and round head. And
Nice.
I like painting in between the legs. So I picked it specifically because it was going to help me hone these skills kind of thing.
That's good. I mean, and it obviously worked because you've been painting the same one for a while, and you can see the progress. You start flipping through all of them, like how much better you got at it. Because,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not really painting the dinosaurs anymore though.
No, what are you painting now?
Now I'm doing like these beaded mosaics.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I have not been keeping up on your art life then.
That's
Have
fair.
you been
It's new.
posting these beaded mosaics?
It's pretty new, I guess. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out my
How
social media
Jungian.
thing is, but
It's very Carl Jung.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's awesome.
That makes it sound deep.
It is deep. Mosaics are always deep. Mandalas. Just start making them into like mandalas. Then you'll be very.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
Yeah.
I'm using like beads and broken jewelry and
Holy shit, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
it's like crafty too.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Nice.
Some found treasures, I like to
So
call them.
One of the like best shows I've seen you do is the dueling piano shows that you've done. You've done some really awesome ones, and just watching you do dueling pianos, it's amazing because like you basically get requests and you have to like battle them out with somebody else who's got a piano across the bar from you.
Yeah.
Like you need to know so many songs. Like,
Or
How
at
do
least
you-
be able to fake my way through them.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Do you know all these songs, or do you just know well enough? Like that, you've got to be a certain person to like know your top 40s and know
Yeah.
the back catalog well enough that you're doing it. Because I asked you out of the blue to play. I think I was on a date with like, then it was about to be my fiance, but like, I asked you to play. Can you feel the love tonight by like on the Lion King soundtrack? And you like nailed it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, like she just knew it.
Nice.
You're
Well,
like, I didn't know it at all.
we use those like we've got tablets on stage and we can look up the chords on
yeah.
like Ultimate Guitar or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's not. It's better than it used to be. Where
Yeah.
you just had to be like, oh, I sort of know it.
Yeah, I
Now
think
it's
you
just
used
a
to just
Google
have to,
away.
Yeah. And now I've got my little cheats, I guess. But
So with the dueling piano like community, because I feel like if you're doing a dueling piano gig, there's only a certain amount of people that you could be able to ask to have that skill set across from you.
Yeah.
Like, how many people are in this community? Do you just have like a bunch of people that you can call and ask, or are they setting you up? And like, how does that work? Is there like tiers of dueling pianos?
I suppose
like-
probably unofficial tiers, like
Yeah.
just your preferences or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's probably under 20 people in Alberta that do it.
Yeah.
So
And two of them are sisters.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
know the Grayling sisters. Yeah.
yeah, I get a lot of work from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty like specialized, I guess.
It is.
So-
it is.
When you're sick or something and need to find a fill in really quick, it can be.
There's only 20 people you can call in the province.
Yeah, and they're probably booked. So
Yeah.
yeah, it gets a little tough in that department because there's not a lot of us. But it's so much fun, and it is crazy. You do have to kind of be able to fake your way through things or know a lot of things.
It's a fun night. Like I
Yeah.
didn't really know whatever to expect, and it matched every expectation I had of it.
I never know what to expect either. I think that's what's the real fun part about it, right? Is
Do you still play at the same club that was on White? What was it? It used to be in O2's, but
Spotlight Cabaret.
it's called now?
Yeah.
Spotlight Cabaret. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good place, man.
Yeah, that's where I saw you, right?
Yeah.
I was playing there a little bit ago, yeah. And then it just was corporate season this last little while. So I was kind
those
of
corporate guys, they just like, hey, we're gonna have this awesome entertainment for all these super fucking boring people.
yeah, there's a lot of that, yeah.
Don't say anything too risque. HR is gonna be up here.
Yep.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Yeah, we're up in Fort Mac a lot, kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah, actually, I did see that the Grayling sisters were advertising up there when I would be up there working. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I'll check them out, but no, just fell asleep in my room. So how did you manage to score this gig as the Oilers organist?
I suppose I know all the pop hits and the regular club banger songs because of dueling pianos, right? And then I think I pretty much got the gig because when it was like COVID time and I didn't have any gigs and I was posting a lot online, I think I did a good job of like getting my name out there and people remembering me and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So when I don't know if the other organ player left or something, right? But they had to fill the position and my name just came up right away.
Was there an audition? Was there like,
No, well, kind of, I guess.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure you weren't like fucking drunk. Just show up like piss drunk.
I think they asked like the horn players, right? The
Yeah.
brass tactic guys. Like, I
Oh,
think they
nice.
asked Matt.
That's
yeah.
great.
And so he knew my
Brass
name.
tactic comes through for you.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
put my name out there. And then the audition was like I got to go play like one of the preseason games. So it was pretty much just do the gig.
Nice.
Do it for free one time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, well, she can manage it. So
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good, man. That's
Yeah.
great.
Thanks.
So, I mean, what I saw you at the situation. Were you getting like a beer sponsorship from them for a while? Like, what was going on with that? Were you just supporting them because they're friends of yours, or what was happening?
Yeah, they were pals, but they were sponsoring the YouTube show.
Oh, wicked!
Yeah. So they'd give me
During COVID.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was just kind of recording stuff and putting it out weekly, and they were like, just come down, we'll give you a 4-pack of beer.
Nice.
Just make sure you drink it and talk about it. And
Smart guys. We
Yeah.
should be talking to the situation. We should be talking to them.
they unfortunately didn't survive COVID.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they've shut down. And it's some other brewery now. So go support them too. They're still local.
Local beers, yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked shit.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what's one of your favorite? You've played in like tons of venues all around the city. Like, what's your favorite venue to play at? Do you have a favorite?
Well, I guess Rogers Place.
Yeah, well, you can't really beat that one. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That you get to put that on your resume now. Like, oh yeah, sold out, Rogers Place. All these people heard me play, and it's just bam, 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 bam,
Yeah,
bam, bam, bam,
exactly.
bam.
One time I did get to play there as a band too.
Wow.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Winterruption, and it was too cold.
Okay.
It must have been, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
It was too cold. Everybody's instruments were going to freeze. So somehow, again, I think Matt from the Brass Tactics
Yeah.
somehow like hustled so that like our band was going to go inside and play in what's it called, Ford Hall,
Okay.
like inside there where like the little bar is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we got to go inside there and play our original music, and
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's really wicked.
that's really cool. So.
Nice. So for the original music that you got now, is it on Spotify or Apple?
Yeah, you can find me on all the regular streaming stuff.
Just under Tiff Hall Band.
It's just Tiff Hall, I think.
Tiff
yeah.
Hall, nice.
Yeah.
I need to update my listening to you because I'm still just listening to that same song. So,
You know what? There hasn't been a lot of new stuff since.
oh wow.
So
Okay, cool. Well, then I'm up to date.
I think there was one after that, and then I was in another band, and we recorded and did that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So now I'm back to writing, and
How's that going?
Yeah, it's
Is
good.
it are you getting the crush? Or are you feeling it, or are you getting it through?
yeah, I think we're starting to just kind of tiptoe into it, and I think it's the scary, like icky part where it's just like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And what's like, I'm almost like scared to get started, kind of moment right now. But
What is your process like when you do it? Do you just start like with riffs, or start with lyrics and then try to find music to it, or?
yeah, I guess when I'm writing at home by myself, I start there and I kind of start with riffs.
Yeah.
I think like maybe piano riffs, and then next comes like sounds. I'm like, okay, I like this melody, so it'll be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and then I do the same thing. And then you just kind of get like you sing nonsense words in
Yeah.
a melody that tries to go to it. And then you're like, hey, what kind of words can I put through this?
Yeah.
And then after doing that for like 3 days, something happens to you and you're like, oh, I want to sing this song. And all of a sudden, like you've got lyrics. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, that's what that is. And then you have to record yourself doing it. And then you have to write down what you said and make sure what you
Yeah.
said was right. Yeah, well, that's my process. I'm trying to
That's-
find out your process.
That's pretty close to mine too. Yeah, it's a lot of nonsense making sounds, and then I'm like, okay, I think that's the vowel I want to sing there.
Yeah.
and then I'm like, well, I think these words have that vowel, and
How long have you been playing piano anyways? Like, has
Oh.
it been like your whole life? Are
Yeah.
you like a child prodigy? Because you played with a Whiskey Wagon. We did like Fairy Tale of New York one time.
Yeah.
And it was just an awesome show. Like, you just did a great show. You only came up for one song, but I was like, you still showed up for it. I was like, I want to do it with you. And you're like, hell yeah.
that was fun.
great,
yeah.
yeah.
I think I started when I was like 7 or something, like so really
Wow.
little.
So
yeah.
you've known, like, piano's just like breathing to you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like writing. It's just a language that I understand, I think, at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn it. So it's like, I can see how it can get, like, because guitar is very similar to me. And that way, well, at least chords are. I'm not like a noodler. But yeah, once you get into that, you're very comfortable with it. It does become like a thing that's just almost like an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And even just, I think the conversation that my ears and my fingers are having it's just like a language, I think. It's the same process in my head, I think. The
it's
same
trippy,
area
man.
of my brain.
It's really trippy.
Yeah.
And I've seen something where it's like the cognitive, like the neuroscience behind what's going on. It's like so good for you. It like creates like a new type of intelligence because you're able to just put your functions in different like places at the same
Yeah.
time. And it stimulates your brain in a certain way that you're allowed to like have attention going other places at the same time. You know?
Yeah. It is pretty bonkers for that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I think it's a lot like being an athlete, right? It's got different hands doing different things and feet doing different things. And
You're like physically training yourself to do something while you're mentally training yourself to do something else.
yeah.
So you've got a lot going on. At the same time.
yeah. Like when you're reading it and then also playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, Tiff, thank you so much for coming on. It's so awesome.
Thanks for
Everybody
having
can
me.
see you at the fabuloustiffhall.com, or what is it, tiffhall.com?
It's fabentertainment.com.
Fabentertainment.com. And
Yeah.
then, of course, the YouTubes channels and everything like that.
Yeah.
We're going to post that there. But thank you so much for watching. Tiff Hall,
Thanks. Go Oilers.
midnight tonight. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for watching the Fabulous Tiff Hall, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.